firing me from my job, successfully getting me terminated.
Planning to do it too.
Conspiring, and we got the evidence.
Got the evidence. I honestly, if you didn't have the evidence, I wouldn't even believe it.
Isn't that crazy?
I wouldn't even. I'm like, no, there's no way, bro. You're going a little over the edge now, bro. Come
on. Without having to go in too deep on it, from your perspective, like, what do you even remember happening?
Yeah. I mean, I just remember, like, no matter what, I'm gonna be on Mitch's side, because you at that point of in our knowing you had to help me not only in the gym but out the gym. Like, I know who this dude is. I know he's genuine. I know, like, so I figured if people heard understood how I felt genuinely, they would be like, okay, well, they must be tripping. But I feel like that's why she made the post. Right. She just had to justify in front of like all those, like, what, 800 people?
800 members.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you remember what she posted?
It was like you touched somebody, right? Or like you slapped some girl's ass or something like that.
They're not even that detailed. All they said was, when there's sexually inappropriate misconduct on the floor, that's when it's time for us to make a change or something like that.
Yeah, and I remember I was like, man, if someone made a post about me being like a young dude like that, especially in the day and age we live, you know what I'm saying? That's I was like, man, that's something's gonna happen. Like something, like she messed up. So, and
there was all sorts of legal like that. If I was real conniving and real, like, about that ego life, let's just say, and like get back at him, revenge, all that stuff, dog, the lawyers I was talking to, again, there's two things in every court case. It's about quantifying liability, which is, did they do something wrong? Are they liable? Secondarily, is quantifying the damages that they owe you once you've proven liability. You've seen the video.
I've seen the video.
You saw the evidence.
Saw the evidence.
The liability was so there that the lawyers at that point were like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to go through with this? And my whole thing was like, if I post this video, will it mess up our chances of like winning money? And they were like, yeah. And I made the executive decision that I would rather the members hear the truth about what happened than make some money off of this.
I see.
Because the integrity of my character is so invaluable that I would rather get that word out there to let them know the truth rather than allowing those psychotic Karens get the last word.
Yeah, I remember I just left. I was like, I'm not even dealing with it. They weren't even going to fire me. I know they weren't going to fire me.
Didn't they ask you to come back with like an extra crazy savage raise?
Yeah, but I think he was like in a pickle because people had quit on him and he needed people to open and stuff like that. So
not only had people quit on him, so many members left as a result of the way in which they were running the establishment.
Yeah, they were mad.
They were so mad.
Yeah. But
dude, that video on Facebook got 10,000 views, 500 plus likes, and like 60 shares.
That was a good video too, by the way.
30 minutes is a little long.
It's a little long, but
maybe I could shorten it up. But I felt like that version had to be out there, so there was no room for misinterpretation. Especially once those screenshots came out.
They were real quiet after those screenshots.
Boy, they were real quiet after those screenshots, huh?
Yeah.
How did... let's talk about this point, Alfonso. This is the way I look at it. How crazy is it that the universe works in such a way that when Michael's working a shift, he just so happens to be at the computer where both Karens leave their messages up.
Yeah.
And he's able to literally see on screen right in front of him all of the conspiratorial evidence.
That was crazy.
Laid out there.
Yeah. There's no way to deny it after that.
Imagine they're able to post that shit about me. I can't substantiate it. I can't defend myself. And now because they're in control of the word, everybody thinks that's now the truth. The beauty is we live in a world, we live in a universe where if you live by the integrity of truth, 9 times out of 10, it should set you free.
That happened multiple times too in that whole situation. Many things just kept popping like, damn, look at how it's working out. Like I was like, yo. And you were telling me like, before we left too, you were telling me about how the universe works in crazy ways like that. And then you saw all this stuff going on that was like lined up with in your favor. So
think about it. The same way the haircut situation was fucking with you. It's like, oh, okay, I'll figure it out. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Imagine that, but with something that you really feel like could cause the entire downfall of your image online.
Yeah, you handled that pretty good though.
You handled it the only way you can though is like this. You said I did what? You said I did what? I live in truth. Let's do this. Let's debate it. Go ahead. You bring your evidence, I'll bring my evidence. Let's let the people decide. Because I got a 33-minute long documentary documenting the shit.
10,000 shares.
Yeah. Well, 10,000 views. Like 70 shares, I think. 500 something likes.
Yeah.
And reactions, like sad faces, all that shit. All the members commenting on it.
You remember all the members that would like commented on the Facebook too? Like, yo, what happened? Like, yo, this is unacceptable, you know.
Patricia explicitly saying, this is bullshit and you know it.
Yeah. Calling them out.
And what happened?
They deleted everything, right? They just
5 minutes after the post, they delete it.
And you weren't even in the group anymore. They kicked you out.
I got removed.
Yeah.
Hey, that's right. We were able, again, because the integrity that you also stand by, you were able to recognize, nah, that doesn't sound like Mitch. Nah. Okay, if y'all got evidence, prove it. Let's see it.
I kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah, because we've been already talking.
I knew I wasn't staying.
Right.
I knew I wasn't staying with all the drama and stuff. But once we got what we needed, and I was like, you know, I'm out. I'm gone.
The genius of having someone like you in my corner, Alfonso, is the integrity that you stand by spoke for itself through the members, that when you acted as, let's say, a supporting voice to my cause, the integrity stood on its own merit.
Yeah.
And then I started asking him all the evidence, or I started asking him all the questions that I was entitled to, all the evidence I was entitled to once an accusation like that is made.
The video? You had cameras.
Video,
What
yeah.
did he say? What was his response to the video?
I'll talk to my lawyer and get back to you.
Why? Like I'm saying, like, why wouldn't he like show you? Like, yo, okay, cool. Here's
Because it didn't exist.
Even if he didn't want to, send it to you, let's say.
Because it didn't exist. Because once I cornered him off of your information and the evidence he had given me, none of it calculated up. Because once he told me, the evidence he gave me, once I asked him all the questions, I said, Patricia told me this, lawyers had told me this, if you get accused of that, you're entitled to this information. Who made the accusation, when it was made, and if there's evidence of it. So I said, when was the accusation made? Who made it? And where's the evidence of it? He said, I'll get back to you on the evidence. I'll get back to you on the camera footage. I'll talk to my attorney first. And then I said, well, I need to know who said it and when they said it. He said, I won't disclose who, but it was at 5 a.m.
So when you close with everybody at your.
So when I had that, I was hella close with everybody in the morning.
Yeah.
When I had that, I have the audio of me confronting him whenever I turned in my keys.
You're a smart guy, man. You're
Bro, I looked up. Missouri's a one-party audio.
You're a smart guy.
It's a one-party audio consent state, meaning I can record him without him having knowledge of it if I want to use it in court, which I had all that shit recorded in case I was going to use it in court.
I think that I talked to him again after this whole thing went down. I think it was maybe when he asked me to come back. I was like, he was talking about you. I was like, he brought up you, and I was like, he said, I really didn't want to let him go. He's a good guy, all this, and then he was like, but there was other reasons why I had to let him go. And I was like, okay, well, like what? He's like, well, don't, you know. I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, you know, he would train people in the morning. And I was like, but is that really a reason to fire somebody? And then not back, like have his back whenever these two crazy Karens make these crazy accusations against him. Like, is that really what you're telling me? Like you fired him because he was doing all these other little things which you could have just talked to him about, and I'm sure he would have stopped doing. But I didn't want to. You know, I knew what was going on. I knew he messed up.
He ain't a big bro. Here's what it boils down to. It takes a certain type of person to run an actual successful establishment.
Speaking of successful establishment. I see a mighty fine for lease sign.
There might be another one coming up soon.
I think so.
It's just sad though, bro.
A year later.
A year later, what ends up happening? One of the buildings gets shut down based off of the integrity that management held it by.
And that one was bigger too.
That one was much bigger.
You know, if I would have been able to choose which one I wanted to keep, I would have chose to keep that.
For the rest of my life, personally, I always have that extreme. I have a bunch of things. Many people have a bunch of examples through experiences in their life that are trialing experiences that allow them to reference when other shit starts getting hard, when other trials start rearing their head.
Yeah.
Every time now something happens, the confidence I have that I can handle it the best that I can by controlling what I can and accepting what I can't comes from knowing these two ladies tried to quite literally character assassinate me on the internet in a member full of 800 people, firing me from my job, successfully getting me terminated.
Planning to do it too.
Conspiring, and we got the evidence.
Got the evidence. I honestly, if we didn't have the evidence, I wouldn't even believe it.
Isn't that crazy?
I wouldn't even. I'm like, no, there's no way, bro. You're going a little over the edge now, bro. Come on.
If you wouldn't have even had, and you, again, based off the integrity you live by, it's such a crazy story that it's like, bro, come on, they weren't texting about firing you and laughing about it. There's no way.
I was like, I know they don't like you, bro.
But
Come
there's
on.
no way they were texting about that. And I go, Alfonso, look at this.
Yeah. Actually, I think the first time I saw it was on that video, right?
Really?
I think so, right? Yeah. I mean, I saw a couple of them. No, you showed me a couple of them. But then, like, once you put it all together like that, I was like, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I knew on my resume it was going to say terminated from like my last job, right? Like I knew I was going to have this blemish on my resume for the rest of my life.
And then when they call him and ask him what's the reason, like, well, like, that's even worse.
So again, it's like, that's why the lawyers were so pissed when I decided to publish that video, because they were like, dude, we can't now. Like, we can't fucking sue these people now. But again, it's invaluable the amount of character redemption I was able to maintain when they were trying to assassinate it. Just by showing people, look, if you have 30 minutes, listen to this.
And you were such a good trainer. I feel like anybody who really wanted to know, watch the whole video.
Dude,
I feel like they watched the whole video.
I had a bunch of members message me saying, and they always caveated it, well, it was a long video, but I watched the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, they caveated it, which is amazing. Even in the comment section, I remember specifically, she was, oh, I can't believe what they did, left a comment. And then under that, she goes, just finished watching the whole thing. I can't tell you how infuriated I am and all this other stuff. Because once you have it all in context, it's like, oh shit, maybe he's not being dramatic. Maybe these ladies quite literally are psychotic.
Yeah, let me say this about Boss Man before I get. I was actually considering coming back. Because I remember you were like, yo, do what you want, but just understand that, like, I don't even remember what you said, but you said something like that really hit me. And I was like, yo, he's kind of right. But he was like,
it was about, I don't want to interrupt you just to give you more.
Go ahead.
It's about the integrity of your character at the end of the day. And again, if you would
that's what it was. Yeah.
And if you would have went back, guaranteed Liberty wouldn't have shut down.
Oh yeah.
He had come back to you and tried to hire you back because he realized what he had left. He realized how much of an asset not only all of us were, but if he could have any of us back, he knew for a fact, like, I have a chance with Alfonso. So remember, what did he offer you? Didn't he offer you like 18 an hour?
It was somewhere around there. It
was
a crazy number
from where you were.
But see, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, yo, if I go back, like, like you said, the integrity of not, the whole reason I left in the first place. So I didn't.
100%. How soon after did Liberty shut down?
Dude, oh man, how soon was that? I was like probably like 4 months later, probably it shut down. Later. Yeah, I drove by and I saw the lease. I was like, woo.
Man.
I dodged a bullet there.
You reap what you sow and you sleep in the bed that you make.
Literally.